So there are two mediums we generally use for painting in the mindful art classes and meditative painting classes, and that's watercolor and acrylic. There are several more that qualify as painting, which is pastel and watercolor pencil. But we're going to focus on just these two in this particular video. There is a quality to each one of these that really offers a very different experience. I love to explore this in our standard art classes where we do teach the fundamentals and the basics in drawing and painting. For these classes that are more mindfulness approach to the teaching as well as the experience, I look for mediums that really match what we're hoping the outcome will be, and it matches what the activity is. So watercolor kind of has a bad reputation of being too hard for people to learn. And that's because you're painting in water for the most part. A lot of times you will paint on dry paper, but primarily the really different quality of this particular medium is painting into the water and just letting it spread. So because of that quality, people love to use this for learning the art of letting go, purposefully choosing a challenging medium, especially if they know they like to control everything in their lives, which is very common. But the experience itself, very often for this type of personality, or if people know that that's how they commonly like things to go, that, you know, they like to shop at Staples and organize their files and their laundry is folded, and, you know, it just all things that I'm not all that concerned with. I'm a watercolorist. I love to just let it flow and see what the color will do, what shapes will come, and then the art comes afterwards. So this is a crazy concept for some people. Now, acrylic is the opposite. Although you can water it down and use that in the same manner, it has more of a tactile building, layering kind of feel. So in these short-lived classes, which are, you're only painting generally from 10 minutes to 30 minutes, and then you're done, generally speaking. And you can layer acrylic and layer it even when it's wet. It does make mud, but what it also does is give you that tactile building and slathering, and it's a really interesting way to let go of the outcome. And in one of my videos, you'll see one of the students just literally using her hands and just like layering and playing with the texture of it. Watercolor will not ever be that. So that is one place where they definitely differ. So it's that tactile feel, and then there's the flow and letting go feel. They're two different experiences, which is why I offer both in my training for facilitators or those interested in facilitating these types of experiences. Mostly because you can offer your participant two very different experiences so that they can assess for themselves how do they feel when they have the experience of letting go or not being able to let go. How does that feel? And also layering and making mud and watching, allowing it to dry and then paint over it. That is also another way of letting go through the experience itself. So just a couple of tips about choosing the medium that suits the mindfulness activity. Watercolor versus acrylic. I love them both. So let's begin. We have our acrylic paint, a few brushes, and some containers or a palette to put our paint in. So we're going to listen to some music and literally just slather on the paint while we notice how we feel and reconnecting with our breath. Feel free to watch or grab your supplies and paint along. As we finish up, take a nice deep breath in and notice how you feel. Thanks for joining.